Hey there, stars. Tiv here. And by the pit, we have been eating good this year. Whether it be Legacy and its seemingly constant hits, or reconnecting with some old classics. Narrowing things down to just 10 toys this year was pretty difficult. And while there's still at least one Vigor to arrive this year, I think we can agree he's kind of in a class of his own. So first of all, here's some ground rules. This list only applies to toys I've personally gotten this year, so it's hardly comprehensive. And since it's a pool of toys I got this year, you might see stuff from any point in the franchise's history. Though most of it is, in fact, from 2023. And for the last rule, if you have your own opinions on those who made the list, or think there was someone I really missed, well, jot down to the comments. I'd love to start a conversation. So without further ado, let's start things off. Rise of the Beasts, Beast Battlemaster, Skullcruncher. Now, Skullcruncher's spot on this list is purely on charm. He's an adorable little croc, and he makes a pretty cool shotgun cannon thing. I usually have him posed with my nemesis Primal, but he did have steep competition for the number 10 spot, competing with Gnaw for the scrunkiest position of the top 10. But ultimately, Skullcruncher's charm, unique molding, and novelty in comparison to the dozens of Scrimblow Sharkticons of the past, and I'm sure future too, makes Rise of the Beast Skullcruncher the superior Scrangus. I gave it to Legacy Evolution Leo Prime. What can I say? When it comes to most of the Primes who came out this year, I'm kind of a sucker for the anime Paladin Lion. Lio Convoy is just an absolutely classic look, and he fills a pretty important spot in my collection for the classic Robot Masters crew. And for number 8, I've got Energon Doomlock. Look, if you weren't expecting at least one vintage nobody to end up on my top 10 of the year, I think you have a fundamental misunderstanding of who I am. Doomlock, to me, is a classic. And for the time, he was a pretty decently posable Terracon army builder. He was in some brilliant oranges, reds, and browns. He does stand out, and it kind of makes a statement. It also probably helps that I got some kick-ass art of him from Aaron Archer this year, too. For number 7, I've got Legacy Core Class Sound Blaster. I feel like it would be a disservice to not give some spotlight to how much the Core Class has been impressing me as of late. And Sound Blaster is just the perfect example of that. He's fun to fidget with, fun to transform, and he looks amazing doing it, too. For number 6, I've got Legacy Evolution Bludgeon. Now this one was actually a pretty tough call. It was either him or Tarn in the spot, and while I love Tarn, I really do, the mold was literally made for him, it's his tank mode, etc. Look, if you're asking me to choose between a pretty monotone purple simp and a bright and colorful skeleton samurai, the skeleton is going to win every time. Duh! As for number 5, technically I got him in late December of last year, but it was close enough to January. I have Legacy Armada Starscream. He's the most posable and playable take ever of one of my favorite versions of Starscream, and I am wildly aware of my swordsman kink. So obviously he was going to end up on here. He's great, and he's... And in number 4, I've got Legacy Transmetal 2 Megatron. I bought a lot of Megatrons this year, and while a lot of them had attributes or downsides that put them below our Scrumbler at number 10, just the simple fact this Megatron is a super imposing dragon and looks threatening in both modes, puts him pretty high on this list. Also, I have to admit, I have a thing for dragons. Enough of a thing for dragons that even if I wouldn't normally sleep with Megatron or any evil villain, that's a slight lie, I'd probably go for Transmetal 2 Megatron, because it's before he went crazy in Beast Machines. But out of the 3 bots to use the Laser Prime mold, I feel like I'm getting the most out of Toxie. His original Cancel toy always interested me, and getting a version of this Bizarro Prime Wrecker in his originally intended shape was honestly a dream come true for me. Almost on par with Metroid Dread actually coming out. So we're at the final 2. I think we all know there's only 2 bots that came out this year that really could fill those roles. Finding out who number 2 is, though, basically already tells you who number 1 is going to be. So let's give some quick honorable mentions. Rise of the Beast Battle Trap was a fantastic move for the Decepticon forces. Weird that he's a Terracon. It was pretty great to finally have a Nova Prime. And the pre-war pack Shockwave and Orion gave us a super charming Orion pack with massive Clark Kent vibes. But with that out of the way, let's move into the final 2. Now, I hear you. It's amazing to finally have a representation of the Khan's classic ship. It played a huge role in Beast Wars. And she has fantastic features with secret minis in her hangars, nice playability with the core class, and she has a massively imposing silhouette on top of being a new and powerful female cast member added to the Decepticon ranks. But being a Titan and also not having a real base mode makes her play features a little underutilized. So at the end of the day, number 1, well, you know what it is, I know what it is, let's head into it. And in my opinion, the best toy of 2023, from what I bought personally anyway, is the Legacy Evolution Commander Class Armada Universe Optimus Prime. He has tons of play features. He's really damn posable in core robot mode and super robot mode, even if he doesn't have a waist in either mode. He's kind of really intimidating with his silhouette, and he's got a really fun super robot mode. And he has some alright base features. But the main reason he beats out Nemesis, well, 1, I like him more. And 2, it really does feel super satisfying to finally get the super robot that the original toy tried to imagine back in 2002. And well, that's that. Those were my top 10 bots of 2023. The Chrome de la Croix. Next time we go over the bottom 10 of the year, which, mind you, will still have some pretty solid toys on it with just how good the year has been. Thanks for coming by. This has been Tiv, signing out.